There was a woman named Adeze who had only one son. His name was Emeka. She carried him on her back through hunger. She sold her best wrapper to pay for his school fees. When the rains failed and the yam harvest was thin, she cooked water with salt and told him it was soup. She smiled so he would not know she was starving. She did all of this so that one day her son would rise. And Emeka did rise. When he was 22, a man from the city came to their village, looking for a sharp young man to train in his trading business. He chose Emeka. The whole compound celebrated. Adeze tied her wrapper tight and danced until her knees hurt. "Mama," Emeka said the morning he left, "I will send for you. Before the next dry season, I will send for you." She touched his face with both hands. "Go and do well, my son. That is all I ask." He left on a Thursday. In the first year, Emeka sent money. Not much, but enough. Adeze used it to fix the roof and buy a small goat. She told everyone in the market that her son was doing well in the city. She said his name with her chin raised. In the second year, the money came late. Then it stopped for 3 months. Then a small amount arrived with no letter. In the third year, nothing came. Adeze told herself he was busy. She told herself the city swallowed people for a time before it released them. She told herself he would come. She waited. Her neighbor Mama Chisom said, "Adeze, write to him." But Adeze did not want to beg her son. She had not raised him to be begged. She believed that a good child did not need to be reminded of his mother. So she waited. The years moved like a slow river. Adeze grew old in the waiting. Her back bent. Her eyes grew weak. The small goat died. The roof began to leak again. She started selling firewood to eat, waking before sunrise, and walking long distances into the bush with a cutlass she could barely lift. Some mornings she would sit outside her door and look down the road that led to the city. She was always looking at that road. The children in the compound would sometimes ask her, "Mama Emeka, what are you looking at?" She would smile and say, "Nothing, just the sky." But it was never the sky. One evening when Adeze was 61 years old, her body gave up. It did not give up loudly. It gave up the way a candle dies, slowly, then all at once. She had been coughing for months. She had been thin for years. That evening, she sat down on her mat and could not get up. Mama Chisom found her. "Adeze, Adeze, look at me." They were still and deep, like a well that had long run dry. "Send word to Emeka," she whispered. Mama Chisom sent word that night. Emeka received the message on a Tuesday. He was sitting in his large house in the city when the call came. He had a large house now. He had a wife and 2 children and a car and a generator that ran through the night. He had done well. Better than well. He had told himself many times that he would go back to the village. "Next month," he said. "After this deal," he said. "When the children are older," he said. He had been saying it for 11 years. When he heard his mother was dying, something cracked open in his chest. He dropped the phone. He stood in his kitchen that had tiles and a refrigerator and electric light, and he stood there and could not move. His wife said, "Go, go now." He drove through the night. He arrived in the village on a Wednesday morning. The compound was quiet in the way that only grief makes a place quiet. He knew before he reached the door. Mama Chisom was sitting outside. When she saw him, she did not stand. She looked at him for a long time. "She waited for you," Mama Chisom said. Every day, she waited. Emeka walked inside. His mother was laid out on her mat. Someone had folded her hands on her chest. Her face was peaceful, the kind of peace that comes after a long, long struggle. He had not remembered her being so small. He knelt beside her. He picked up her hand. It was cold. It was rough. So rough. He turned it over and looked at the palm, at the cracks and calluses, at the skin that had carried and cooked and cut firewood so that he could live. He pressed her hand to his forehead. And then Emeka, this man with a big house and a car and a generator that ran through the night. This man wept like a child. He wept in a way he had never wept before. He wept not just with tears, but with his whole body, shaking, heaving, spilling out years of silence and distance and excuses. He wept because she had waited. He wept because she had smiled when he left, and told him to go and do well. He wept because she had never begged him. He wept because she had sold her wrapper for his school fees, and cooked salt water and called it soup, and he had not come back to feed her even once. He wept because the road from the city was not long. He had driven it in one night. He could have driven it any night for 11 years. He had not. They buried Addes on a Friday under the mango tree she had planted when Emeka was born. He paid for everything. He brought the finest cloth, he brought food for the whole village. He stood straight and greeted the elders, and did everything that a good son should do. But everyone could see his eyes. They were the eyes of a man who had learned something too late to use it. After the burial, Emeka sat alone under the mango tree. He sat there as the sun went down and the children came home from school, and the smoke rose from the cooking fires. He sat there and listened to the sounds of the village, sounds he had forgotten, sounds his mother had lived inside every day while he was away building his life. A small girl walked past and stopped. "Uncle," she said, "are you all right?" He looked at her. She had the kind of face that had not yet learned about loss. "Take care of your mother," he said. The girl blinked. "Yes, uncle." She ran off. Emeka looked up at the mango tree. It was full and green and heavy with fruit. His mother had planted it with her own hands. It was still giving. She was gone. The one who suffers to build you deserves to enjoy what they built. Do not wait until the tree falls before you learn to sit in its shade.